Today I'll show you how I made this animation using Clo3D Livesync and Unreal Engine, and I'll cover some problems I had with the geometry cache files. I wanted all my characters to be identical and appear robotic, with the exception of the last character, who stands out as an individual. So I copied and pasted the garments and their parent avatars into the outliner, and I dragged them individually into the sequencer. I selected geometry cache for both and positioned them in the sequencers so they would start one after the other. Finally, I changed the material and texture for the jacket and pants in Clo3D, and I re-exported those through Livesync to Unreal as geometry cache files. Beside the weird overlapping, I ran into one key issue. The unique avatar kept appearing in the wrong spot at the beginning of the animation. It wasn't happening in a sequencer, so it wasn't until I rendered that I noticed the problem. There are a couple ways to fix this. The first one is straightforward. I realized that the playhead in Clo was in the middle of the animation timeline. So when I went back to the simulation window and connected via Livesync, the geometry cache file was playing from that point forward and then looping back to the beginning. Although it wasn't detectable in the sequencer, it meant that on render, it was starting him halfway through the cycle. Another solution was to copy one of the avatars that was working successfully and just replace the textures that I had already imported from Clo. Another solution involved right-clicking on the geometry cache in the sequencer, Properties, remove the asterisk after the selection start and stop range, and I selected Keep State when finished. The last render problem I had with cache files is that you need to play them from the beginning to the end in the sequencer, and it helps to do that twice, so their current states reset to the beginning. Otherwise, you get them starting and stopping at random places because you're moving things around in the sequencer timeline. Hope this helps you out with your Livesync geometry cache sequencer issues.